और आपको सीधे ले चलते हैं। केंद्रीय मंत्री निर्मला सीतारमण एक प्रेस कॉन्फ्रेंस को संबोधित कर रही हैं।
15 items on agenda, and even as we started, there was this request by some ministers from the states saying, could it please actually end at 1:30 because they had other committed business, and it was suggested that if any agenda is left over, we could carry it to the next meeting. And that was also sort of put to the House, and all ministers came in to say, we agree, we can conclude at 1:30 and take the agenda forward for the next meeting. So, having agreed to end the meeting at any cost by 1:30, meaning smoothly, we completed 8 of the agenda points. And therefore, the rest would be carried on to the next, hopefully an in-person meeting. And importantly, of the 7 agenda that we could not take up today, the GOMs are also part of those 7 which we couldn't take up. There were 2 GOM issues which had to be discussed. One relating to the capacity-based taxation on tobacco and gutkha, and the other relating to the setting up of a tribunal, GST tribunal. So both these have not been taken up. So leaving aside that, in sequential order about 7 agenda points were attended to, and one which related to data sharing was also taken up. So the meeting ended at 1:40, something like that, and we've come before you. I'll ask Sanjay and Vivek to get into the details of the decisions which have been taken today. And there will also be a press release which will be shared with you. Sanjay?
Thank you, ma'am. As Honorable Minister has informed, basically we had 2 major agenda items, one related to the tax rates and the others related to some procedural and law related changes, other than the routine agendas, confirmation of minutes, notifications placed for ratification, some exemptions which were given. So the major decisions which the council today took, I think one major path breaking recommendation is with regard to decriminalizing certain offenses. 3 kinds of offenses have been recommended to be decriminalized. They pertain to obstruction or preventing any officer in discharge of his duties, deliberate tampering of material evidence, failure to supply the information. Moreover, the threshold limit of tax amount for launching prosecution in any criminal offense defined under the GST laws, the limit has been increased from 1 crore to 2 crore for all offenses other than those involving fake invoices. In the same line of reducing the workload of the courts, compounding amount has been decreased. Right now it is 50% to 200%, 150% of the tax amount. So this has been reduced to 25% to 100%. Certain decisions were also taken regarding rates. One of them is relating to husk of pulses, including chilka and concentrates, including churi, khanda, etc. This attracts 5% rate. This has been reduced to nil. Previously, when it was used as cattle feed, it was exempt. But when used as a cattle feed ingredient, it was being taxed at 5%. So this relief is being given. The other exemption relates to extension of the 5% tax on ethyl alcohol, presently 18%, for blending purposes. Already we had allowed 5% reduced rate for blending with petrol by the oil marketing companies. Now this exemption is being extended to the refineries as well. So this will further promote our efforts on blending and reduce our dependence on imported crude and thereby save precious foreign exchange. Then a number of clarifications were given, basically so as to provide clarity, because some tax authorities were assessing it at one tax rate, other authorities at another tax rate. I think it's a very good idea if such kind of circulars are issued on a regular basis. So in line with that, the council decided to issue circulars relating to RAB, FRIAMs, which will attract 18%, which are already attracting 18%, but just a clarification so that there is no doubt. Similarly, the cess, applicability of cess on SUVs, this was clarified, and certain clarification was also provided for the equipment and materials used by petroleum companies for exploration, etc. It was also decided to include supply of mentha arvensis under reverse charge mechanism, as has been already done for mentha oil. A major decision was taken today to facilitate e-commerce for micro enterprises. You would be aware in the last meeting, 47th GST Council meeting, Council had decided to allow the e-commerce operators to supply the unregistered, the products of unregistered vendors, dealers, as well as composition taxpayers. So the modalities for that in terms of the changes it would require in the law and the rules, etc., were approved by the council. Then there were a number of other matters for relief and clarification for the taxpayers. One pertaining to the years 17, 18, 18, 19 as to how to deal with the mismatch of the invoices in GSTR 1 vis-a-vis GSTR 3B. So that will further help in the administration of tax. Another clarification pertains to the no-claim bonus, which is offered by the insurance companies. So it has been decided to clarify that this will not attract any GST. No-claim bonuses, as you are aware, offered by insurance companies when the insurer does not claim any compensation under motor insurance or any other insurance. So these are, I think, the major decisions taken by the council. We'll of course be circulating a detailed press release. Thank you.
Coach. Team C. First Team C and then Sushil. First Team C.
Gaming and casinos, that was much awaited because in the last council meeting it was said to be on the agenda, but was that there on the agenda? Has the report been assessed? Are you planning to take that up in the next meeting? And also on tribunals, as ma'am said that it could not be taken up this time. If you could give broad highlight points of the GOM report as to what has been suggested by the GOM in terms of appellate tribunals, because that is
जीएसटी परिषद की 48वीं बैठक के बाद प्रेस वार्ता का सीधा प्रसारण आप देख रहे थे, जिसमें जानकारी दी गई कि कर की दरों और कानून को बदलने की विधि पर बात हुई है और 2 एजेंडे पर चर्चा हुई है।